Well, we have a mild start to the week, severe weather potential, and snow for parts of Minnesota by the end of the week, and a big drop in temperatures for everybody. So a mild Monday, and will be mild the next couple of days, in fact, well above normal, mid-60s, maybe even a 70 along the Minnesota-Iowa border, while northern Minnesota is in the 50s. But the big story this week is the developing storm system. We have an upper-level low, big wave here coming out of the west. That's going to be pushing up moisture and warmth out ahead of it. Also sucking down some pretty cold air, coldest air we've seen so far this season. And that flow in the lower atmosphere is coming all the way from the Gulf of Mexico straight into Minnesota. And that's going to bring in some pretty high dew points for late October. It's going to be sticky even in southeastern Minnesota by tomorrow midday. All the while, the same system creating winter storm watches across Montana and Wyoming. They're looking at significant snow there. Some of that snow will reach into the northwestern corner of the state. But tonight, the risk is for severe weather from basically the Twin Cities south. It's a marginal risk, pretty low, level 1 out of 5. But for late October, it is noteworthy anyway. Dew points tomorrow are going to be rising to the 60s. We're going to have the setup tomorrow, depending upon how much sun we get and everything else, for more severe weather potentially later in the day. The overnight scenario, we've got this low-level jet stream, winds 4,000 feet up, are going to be roaring at 50 to 60 miles an hour. And that is a conveyor belt, literally, of moisture and warmer air. So that's going to spawn some showers and thunderstorms. It looks like probably after midnight across the southern third of the state. And then during the day, mostly dry. But then late afternoon, evening, we're going to see more storms flare up near the front, near the low, with that big temperature contrast and all that extra moisture. So a marginal risk of severe weather again tomorrow from the Twin Cities south and east. We got a level 1 out of 5 again. Main threats both tonight and tomorrow are going to be for some hail. So we're not talking about a major outbreak of severe weather, but it is going to be warm again tomorrow. 60s in the Twin Cities, 70s south of here. Well, colder air already starts to move in. Temperatures tomorrow are going to be 10 to 20 degrees above normal for the southeastern part of the state. And as I mentioned, we're mainly looking at a hail threat. This is for tonight, a low area, but still the risk of hail for southeastern Minnesota into western Wisconsin into tomorrow too. So again, we're not looking at tornadoes probably or high wind gusts. Those are always an outside chance with any severe storm, but the main threat, because these storms will be elevated in nature, is going to be hail. But to the west, lots of snow, up to 10 inches of snow across Montana into North Dakota, and not one, but two storm systems drawing in the coldest air of the season so far. So we're going to go from well above normal temperatures to well below by the weekend. Look at this. Big blob of blue all the way down into Texas. It's going to drop temperatures to be 10, 20, 25 degrees below normal, something we haven't seen a lot of this fall. And as I mentioned, another system coming through late Thursday into Friday is going to bring more rain, possibly snow into northern Minnesota, and definitely some cold air for the weekend. Highs on Saturday may struggle to reach 40 even in southern Minnesota. Sub-freezing highs in northwestern Minnesota. When you factor in the wind, look at these wind chills Saturday morning. 20s in the Twin Cities, but single-digit wind chills are possible in northwestern Minnesota early Saturday. And another system could bring the potential for snow again across parts of Minnesota. These are 4 different model scenarios. They're kind of all over the place, but there's going to be another swath of snow that tries to develop for parts of maybe central Minnesota into the west. So enjoy these mild temperatures. We are not going to see 60 degrees for a while after the middle of this week. We're going to have pretty cold air sticking around. A couple people have asked, should I bother covering plants? Probably not, because once we head into Friday night, we're going to be at or below freezing each night, probably this weekend and through next week. So yeah, party's over for the growing season.